Last chance.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and this is our pick for the best game of 2021. But if you haven't already, make sure to check out our list of the top 10 games of 2021 over on WatchMojo and see which other games defined our year. For now, we'll explain why our number one pick is the top dog, and here's a spoiler warning in case you haven't played it.
He was already gone.
Leave me alone.
No, we're getting out of here. Together.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
When looking at the entirety of 2021, it's hard to say this year was light. In retrospect, we've arguably seen a lot of heavy hitters from both the indie and AAA space, from Hitman 3 and Psychonauts 2 to Curse of the Dead Gods and Cosmos Quickstop, that last one being one of my favorites of this year. You should go check it out. Go buy it on Steam right now. As is tradition with the MojoPlays team, there is only one game to call the best of 2021, and after much consideration, our game of 2021 is none other than Resident Evil Village.
Together, we go save Rose, and we can use her to grind Miranda into paste.
Taking place after the events of Resident Evil 7, Village once again puts you in the shoes of Ethan Winters. Ethan sets out to find his daughter and winds up in a mysterious village that's been ravaged by monsters. Across the roughly 10-hour campaign, you'll encounter bloodthirsty maidens, haunted dolls, mechanized deviants, and werewolf people that'll carve out Ethan's hands like a Thanksgiving turkey. In order to really capture a player's attention, you need to make a strong first impression, and that's exactly where Village excels within its first hour. It doesn't spend too much time catching us up on Ethan's quiet and mundane life, it throws us right into the action and causes us to ask a ton of questions, and we're introduced to almost all of the important characters right from the get-go. Village also manages to introduce its mechanics rather quickly to players, and it does so in a way that's efficient and easy to digest, regardless if you've played previous Resident Evil games before. While we're on the subject of mechanics, we'll be the first to admit that Village isn't anything significantly new, especially within the franchise itself. It's the same first-person view as RE7 with the same level of inventory management as games prior, and features the same gameplay of using pistols, shotguns, and such as any other FPS game. However, Village manages to simplify things where the player spends more time in the world rather than within menus and constantly shifting and readjusting items. Crafting is more streamlined now, removing the combined feature entirely in favor of simply tracking how many of each material you've gathered. Thanks to this, players can focus more on conserving ammo and exploring rather than remembering which recipes do what and require what materials by the book. Some veterans may like that aspect of the franchise, but others like us would argue this was a great improvement. And indeed, improvements have been made within Village. Those familiar with Resident Evil will remember the franchise suffered a bit of an identity crisis in the late 2000s all the way until the mid-2010s. We had begun seeing less focus on the horror and more catering to the action shooter fans.
Ow! So mean!
RE5 and RE6 have found their own appreciation among fans, sure, but at the time, these were real warts in the IP. RE7 was a real hit back in 2017 too, yet many of us were left wondering whether Capcom would mess up Resident Evil again with the next entry. Luckily, Village has effectively found a way to balance it all out. You're thrown into all sorts of terrifying moments right at the start of the game. You're wandering through the woods, wondering if that thing you saw was a monster or if you're heading towards death.
Ethan...
What?
You see Castle Dimitrescu looming over an empty village that's infested with lichens. It all builds up to this intense chase, a fight for survival against the lichens before it all calms down and dips back into a quiet and eerie horror with the creepy old hag and finding Louisa's house. When developers are making games, they often try to find a pace that maintains an even flow of tense and calm moments. And Village employs an incredibly even pace, even when you're exploring the castle and factory. Environments also have an important role in what made Village so memorable. Capcom managed to craft levels in a way that also created compelling shots, giving us not just beautiful backgrounds and screenshots, but also more mystery and story to each given area. Again, you have shots like Castle Dimitrescu towering over this quaint village. There's the moment where you emerge from a cave and find the Beneviento estate hanging off the side of a massive waterfall. Or how about when you emerge from beneath the factory and see Heisenberg's army on conveyor belts and machines? The detail put into the textures, models, and arrangement of everything almost makes the world seem real. Everything comes off as beautiful yet morbid, well built yet decrepit, fantastical yet gross. It all adds to a level of immersion that helps make Village so special. Adding to the fun of Village is the cast of villains. Lady Dimitrescu, Moreau, Donna Beneviento, Heisenberg, and Mother Miranda all make for fun boss fights by having their own unique spins. You have Lady D in her grotesque dragon form, Moreau as a disgusting fish creature that will attack you from beneath murky waters, Beneviento in her deadly game of hide and seek, and Heisenberg bringing an explosive fight that lets you pilot a freaking tank.
Well done, like the world watches. Try hard. Show me what you got.
And it all leads up to a vicious fight against Mother Miranda herself. They're all terrifying, they're all ridiculous, and they all bring something different to experience, giving us more reason to replay the game. And that's the last point we want to touch on. Like previous Resident Evil games, Village hosts a few extra goodies to make you want to keep playing and playing again, and trying to go for speedruns even. In addition to fun weapons and infinite ammo cheats to turn you into a god, Village holds a time trial mode called the Mercenaries, where you'll have to chain kills and pick up perks in order to maximize your score, and you'll have to do it as quickly as possible. It is very tough to get S rank on all stages, but when you find the path and execute the perfect chain, you'll feel like an absolute badass. Of course, you'll probably miss a few secrets in your first run or two with the main game, and that will be enough to make you want to go back for a 100% run. Find all the documents, find all the goats, find all the everything. And just in case you still don't believe how good this game is, let me, Ty, give you a small testimony, okay? This is me speaking to you directly. With the exception of some kart racers, platformers, and fighting games, I do not ever usually replay my games. Once I pop the platinum trophies, I immediately uninstall the game, throw up a brief tweet about my feelings on the game, and that's it. I don't really feel the urge to revisit them, especially after I pop the platinum. What reason is there for me to go back?
Stick to the mission. I'm headed to the ceremony site.
Wait. You can't leave me here.
Resident Evil Village, on the other hand, I have yet to platinum, and I have played through the game 6 times, all in consecutive order, and it was not at all because of trophies.
I can't believe Cassandra caused all this mess.
I replayed this game 6 consecutive times because of the story, because of the gameplay, because of all the reasons I've mentioned in this video. If you go back to our review of Resident Evil Village all the way back from May, there are probably 1 or 2 complaints I had with the game, and even then, I still call this game my personal game of the year.
Tell me, what is going on around here?
How can a man be almost dead?
And the rest of the MojoPlays and video game team feels very much the same way. There is so much here in Resident Evil Village to enjoy, and there's so much to dissect and digest that simply writing this script and doing this VO has made me want to reinstall the game and replay it again. I have a few trophies left until the platinum, but even then, I don't care about the trophies. I just want to play this game again. It is that much fun.
The exit's underwater. You're done.
I don't have time for this.
Resident Evil Village may not have been something mind-blowing, but it didn't need to be. It didn't need a vast open world, or 5 different gameplay mechanics, or celebrity castings. What it did do was take everything it has learned from the franchise's 25-year history, improve in areas that did or didn't work, and wrap it all up into this exciting, terrifying, and occasionally hilarious adventure that makes Village one of the best games in the series.
Mother Miranda, if it's for you, I'd do anything.
Even if you are not a hardcore Resident Evil fan, even if you know absolutely nothing about the lore, Village is 100% worth your time and worth every penny. And that is why Resident Evil Village is MojoPlays Game of 2021.
Reach for me! Damn it!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.